Yeah, Discord's not changed. It's just not. Yeah. It doesn't want to seem to work, Darren, for um I don't know what I can do.
I used the messenger link this time and that was okay. Second time. I used the Discord the first time. All right. And then
You did get the Discord one. Okay.
messenger one the second time and that was all right.
Yeah. It still hasn't it's still sitting there. It won't go live in thing. It's like as if it's not. I am connected. I'm connected to Zoom. The only thing well, I don't know. This sort of thing just keeps. All right, let's just go. I'll just go to Tom. Um,
I was watching on YouTube, he says. Yeah, so he said, go ahead and start. He's watching on
yeah,
YouTube.
no, I can't believe because it says it hasn't done it. I don't know.
But when you watch from YouTube, you can't sort of interact.
No, I
You can
know,
watch it. That's
I
the only.
know. Oh, this is weird. Oh, yeah, he says it's on YouTube. Well, in my end, it says it's not connected. Anyway, all right. Let's. I don't know. Oh, yeah. It's part of the weirdness of this. Right, let's just share this to start with, and we'll go from there. Tom says, all right, if he's out there. So, well, Tom, yay. Welcome, Anthony, and Jerome Powell. He's being trying to be very diplomatic. Okay. So, welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are only class pure as educational only. And that's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. So just only take trades that you're happy to take based on your own analysis. Okay, well, let's go through the pairs and have a look. Yeah, so I haven't looked at gold. I've just woken up trying to get all this to work. But anyway, what did Tom say? Hey, it's okay. All right, no worries. I just like to include you, Tom. That's all. Right, we're over here. All right, so AUD CAD. Isn't that interesting, Darren? As soon as it comes
It
to the
is.
trend
It
bar.
is. It's, because it isn't a real. It's just a line on a chart, isn't it? I mean, that's all
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
just, but it does. It reaches this and then reacts.
And then it
So,
goes, oh, I think I'll.
it could push through and carry on, or it could drop again. Who knows? But yeah, you.
Yeah, but if this pushes a little bit and gives us a short, we're into the sell again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good position to take a sell if you get a short
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, rightio. ADNCHF.
Well, I'm in this and it's been messing around since I got
Yeah,
in
I
it.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I got in on that short as well. Again, we talked about how far away from the trend
Yeah.
bar when you get into that trade. It potentially would be a second or even a third. What was it? One, two, three, could be the fourth trade.
Yeah.
But I don't know. ma- maybe we limit the stacking to three.
Well, maybe it's just waiting to for that trend bar, for the trend line to come down, meet it, and then
Mm,
then it
mm.
continues down. 'Cause they will eventually. If that edges up a bit, the trend line's still heading down, just
But
sort
it
of
may come
bouncing a
up
bit.
and it may come up and touch the trend line too, and then come back
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So that's okay. It's whatever it is, and we've got stop losses in place. Obviously, I haven't moved it from where it was originally. Oh, maybe since originally, it's at the top of that short. That's it. If it's going to go up, it'll break the short. Like that's the
Mm.
way it is. Um, if not, it's going to break this. It'll have to break the long and then break that long down there. But basically, after a long, there's a short due at some time. I don't know when, but we'll see. Okay, I'm still in the sell for that, but like any bit of drawdown. Okay, AUD JPY. Hey, look at this, working its way back up. Same situation, but we're in a long-term downtrend. So
Yeah.
it could be that this could be the point where it's going to start going up. But if that is, it turns green, stuff will get into buys. Okay, AUD NZD. Huh? Second trade short, doing well.
Yeah, yeah. Another stop loss move potentially
Yeah.
once this candle
Mm-hmm.
closes.
Mm. Yeah, to here or
Actually, my candles look slightly different.
okay.
That doji candle isn't a doji on mine; it's slightly bigger, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sort of
But
getting
current
quite close on this one because the spread's super wild on this pair.
mhm. But
And
currently
it's got,
the wick on this last 24 hours is
yeah,
higher than the last ones.
it
So
is. So it could be above that wick,
mm, yeah. You
I
mean
think.
above this wick? No, above the wick on the short or above that candle?
Above the wick on the current candle, possibly.
Oh, oh, that's a bit okay.
That's a bit tight, a bit radical, that, I think.
It's very radical, but then again, if it's going to continue down, it shouldn't break that. But anyway, 80 Singapore. Now it turned green. You got into the trade?
I
No?
did.
Yes? Oh, and now it's sucked back.
Yeah, this is letting me down at the minute because I took a. This is the only one that's hit stop loss so far, I'd moved down, got in the short, moved the stop loss down, came up, took me out, I got in the buy, and now it's turning the wrong way again. So this is
Oh yeah, because
causing me
well,
some problem.
it's how far you got in away
Yeah, yeah.
from the trend line as well. Mm, yeah, because you would have got
If it
in
turns,
somewhere down here and it's come back and knocked you out.
if we get a short, I'll 10 bar red, get a short, I'll get back in.
Yeah, yeah, but not. It's not sort of doing it at the moment, so
No,
we'll see. But you do have a history of this, like a push up and a candle,
yeah.
and then it just drop back off. And, push up to it and then drop drop off. So,
Doesn't look a great pair, does it really? Again,
um,
recent history.
well, history it does. Like if you got into the short
Yeah,
up here, it's it does
yeah,
do these pushbacks where it tries to take you out, but
yeah,
we'll see. I actually quite like the Singapores, but that's okay.
yeah.
AUD USD. Wow,
Nice,
that's pretty
nice.
good, isn't it? Yeah.
The stop loss move coming up, so
Yeah.
that that will
Well, they need to
next
come up
stop loss
here.
move will be in profit then,
Up here.
guaranteed profit.
Would it?
Well, the next one, yeah, when I move
Oh,
it.
the next candle. Yeah, 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 yeah. You'd
Oh,
move
when
it up to
this
here.
current candle closes, I'm moving it up to
To the what? The bottom of
no
that candle.
next one to the left, not that one,
That one.
that one, yeah,
Oh, it just depends on where you got in on the candle, whether it was
yeah.
the top of
It
it,
it
then
was it was, but that stop loss will then be in stop will be a stop profit, won't it? Gonna move that up.
Oh, okay. Right, that's good. That's a good move then.
Yeah.
Okay. CAD CHF. Well, that's okay. I'm in that for a sell. Got in on that short, pull back up and draw down. It's now in a bit of positive for me. It's since the the tariff move and the pullback of the tariff, things have gone a little bit
Yeah.
sort of lazy at the moment.
So
Anyway,
my stop loss is still above that massive, well, still above the short. It's right up there.
yeah, yeah, it could come down to here.
That's what I'm
But
thinking now. That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
I think that's probably where mine is.
Yeah.
Head
I
J.
had to say, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's
Well, CAD J, I
pushing
was in
down
the
again.
buy, remember, and then I turned it to go into the short. So I'm pretty sure I'm pushing a bit of profit
It's
now.
time to move this stop loss down as well, I think now.
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah. Well, you've been in it for a while, so that's all right. Right, CHF JPY, I'm in a buy, but that's not too good because it's pulling back on me. Got in on that candle, and it was a distance away from that trend line, but that's okay. Still, it's pull back to wherever. It did just push back up for this one day, but we'll see. The Swiss franc has been pretty strong. It might be just that it's pulled back for a little bit before it pushes back up. We'll see. All right, your AUD. This is the one I've got an issue with, but it showed a short and then it's pulled back. So I'm
Yeah.
actually in a sell on this, which is
Yeah.
against which is against all of this rule.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the buy, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, you got in the buy at like because of
uh,
this
I
change
got
of
it on the
strategy.
I got it on the long, Brian.
Oh, long down here.
No, no, no.
Oh, that long.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good. There's something about the distance from the trend line that sort of I think has some particular key to this. And look, I'm only in this Euro AUD because I'm still in drawdown, but the point is uh yeah, it predated some other things. Anyway.
I think you're a bit gung ho getting in that one, Brian. I think that's what's
No, no, no. I got in this way back or somewhere back. I can't remember where it was. It was based off. I think it was based off the bricks, but I'm not. I'm not
right.
sure.
All right. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. All right. Okay. Let's go down. But I'm just going to stay here for the minute because I think it'll come back down to the trend bar, and if it does, I'll look at where it's at. We'll just see. Anyway, I'm not too fast. EuroCAD. I'm in the buy, and it's buying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What am I? Yeah, up 152 pips off
Yeah.
this long. I might have
Yeah.
been
What
off
am
that. I
I?
can't remember. Anyway, it's pushing up nicely.
270 pips. I know.
Good on you.
Got in on the previous long a
Yeah,
bit
this
further.
one here, it pulled back and didn't
Mhm.
knock you out, and then up it's gone. Right, Euro
Okay.
CHF
Yeah.
for a sell, and it is selling. I got it on the short, so I got probably in down near here. It's pulled back into drawdown, didn't stop me out. It was quite a negative, and now it's um, pushed up a bit, but it's still see how it's matched out at the bottom here.
Mm.
It just doesn't seem to want to break
No.
those bottom two. So I don't know whether it'll continue or not. We'll just see. I mean, a trend keeps going until it doesn't want to.
It needs
So
to break structure, doesn't it? And then I think we're
yeah, but also
good
too
to go.
normally you'll notice there'll be like over here before it changes trend, you'll see some sort of a large wicking to a certain extent, where this is just a bit meager at the moment. There's just not enough passion for it to go in the other direction. So we'll just see. All right. Euro GBP. Oh, look at that. Come back down, then all of a sudden it's got
Oh,
along.
got along. We've got along, or I have.
Yeah.
Time to
So
get it,
is
perhaps.
that not too far away?
Well,
Oh, it's Ross.
don't know. I
If
don't
we
know.
go from the line up to there, that's 130 pips away from the trend bar.
Yeah.
Where, for example, in this long, would have gone trend bar up to there, which is like 70 pips. I'm just sort of,
No, I think
oh
it's a good
yeah,
point. I think it's a good point. When you look back at previous trades, the better trades are usually where it does come off the
yeah, off the trend bar.
trend bar. But
But
not
you're going
all,
to have to
not
follow
always.
some strategy at the moment, though, Darren. Welcome, Ross.
All right, I finally got in. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, happy
here.
days.
Yeah. Was there a bit of a drama, was it?
It wasn't too bad. I was just busy and stuff. So
Oh, right. It
I
wasn't that
finally.
you didn't have a problem with the link. That's all.
Oh no, no.
No, that's okay. We were just having a few issues this morning with the with Zoom, so I don't know what's been going on. But anyway, we're there. Can we work out another way for
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I'm going to
okay.
get in that goodbye, Brian. I think so.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Let's do
We've got to mechanically do what we need to do as well. I mean, no, I don't have enough margin. I can't get into it at the moment, but that's okay. I just want the ones that I do have to play out. Okay, let's see how we go with it. You're into that though.
I mean, it
Okay.
could, as I say, it could sort of meander a bit sideways and then come off the trend bar.
Well, we don't know.
Well, and
Like
that's
it's
what.
already off it and it's pulled back now. Is this now that it's showing well, it hasn't quite broken the wick on this one, but it's looking pretty solid at the moment. And we're coming to the end of end of New York session. It
Yeah.
normally sucks back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got time to do that. It quite often just suck
Oh,
back in literally the last 3 or 4 minutes before the session ended. I don't even notice
yeah,
that. Literally at the
yeah.
last minute, which can be very
No,
frustrating. You've just got in just got in the trade. I tell you.
well, maybe you wait until the next. Well, you normally do, maybe, don't you? Or
Yeah, maybe
wait
wait
until
till
that
that.
changeover.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, it's whatever you feel is appropriate. Okay, Euro JPY. Let's go on that one. Okay, it stayed green, but it is hugging the line a bit, isn't it?
It's sitting on that trend
On
bar,
the
so
trend bar. Yeah.
just
Well,
needs
if
to
we get
show the
along, if
nose.
we get along out of it, that's great. But there's nothing there really, is it? I mean, if you had it got in when it turned green there, you would have gone up there and it's just basically come back to the start again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
need
don't know.
along, and then I'll be in
Um,
it.
can I just confirm what settings you are using on the EMA trend bars and the twin range?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
think I've got them right.
EMA trend bar is 25.
Yep, right.
Okay. And the twin range is what comes out of the box. I
Right,
think it's
okay. Yeah, they're all right.
27, 1.6,
Yep.
55, and 2. I think when you put it on, it's just a standard setting for the short and longs.
And have you tried this strategy on any other time frame? I know you were saying that you sort of like to take sort of back, you know, a slower approach, so to speak. So you're not always looking at the
Oh,
charts, but have you
Ross,
actually looked into?
I'm making an assumption that I'm nowhere near as young as you. I just take life a little bit more, laid back.
Yep.
I don't want to no, I'm only kidding. This is more of what we call a sort of a lifestyle trading or a relaxed trading method where you really only need to look at it once a day. Now,
Today. Yeah.
in light of that, that's okay. You can use a time frame that is lower, like a 4 hour, 2 hour, whatever you want to. But it just means that there is more reactionary time. Actually, we don't need that, do we? We'll just turn that off. There's a lot more reactionary time required and a lot more bouncing around.
Yep.
Um, you know, from a daily down to 4 hour, you can see it's actually quite different.
Yeah,
And
I'm
do
just
you?
looking at the 4 hour here. It's quite choppy looking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where the daily sort of takes that out, and yes, there's a trade-off between the amount of trades you could have and potentially profit levels. We're really about, well, I am anyway. I mean, Darren can speak for himself, but I'm really about, trying to get what I can out of the market, but without sort of having to be there every sort of
Yeah.
hour or 4 hours.
Yep. Yeah,
I
makes sense,
do,
I suppose.
I do remember many years ago, I set my time at 4 hours, and even through the night, I'd wake up and have a look at it for a candle, for
Yep.
a candle. It's like, well, to me,
Remember doing that myself.
it wasn't that productive, to be honest. So if you know, certainly you can do whatever you like to do, Ross. We're not here to
I
say,
was just sort of wondering if you've had any sort of statistics on it, so to speak. If you picked the daily because it was the greater percentage gain or what, but it's obviously
well,
for the lifestyle more than anything.
yeah, well, you see, we can see a candle every day. You
Yeah.
could do monthly, you could even do higher time frames or weekly if you wanted to. But the chance of like you would have um a larger, if the time frame is higher, there'd be a long time between you getting in, and sure you'd be in a trend like that, but the point is you would lose any of your profits because it'd be a long time before you'd work out it was coming back the other way, or the
Yeah.
from that sort of point of view. I think it's just, for me, it's the daily is sort of like that sweet spot. We see
Right.
the candle for the day, we can see whether it's pushing up or down, we can analyze the wick, the body, all those sorts of bits and pieces. And you can look further into or down if you want it in time frame, down to 4 hour or 2 hour or whatever you want. I just think it can become confusing. What are your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, well, I've been trading the daily now exclusively, I'd say now for over a year. I don't see myself ever going back to lower time frames.
Right.
Um, as I say, I'm just sort of so used to this now, and I can really just have a look in the evening. That's all I need to do. But I
Yeah.
mean, I will have a look during the day to see how things are going from time to time. But not always. Some days I'm traveling, I'm on the road sort of all day, and but I used to find myself sort of pulling over when I was driving to get on my phone and enter trades and stuff like that. And it's just ridiculous, really.
Yep.
Mm.
Um, I remember trying to enter a trade. I was on the South Circular in London. Hit a traffic jam, and it was my opportunity to get on my phone and put this trade on. I just thought, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. Just yeah, this is not the way to.
I've been there as well, Darren. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe not in the same location, but
yeah,
same circumstances. I mean, it's a trade-off, Ross. I mean, it's always a trade-off that the daily moves can move relatively slowly. Depends on what's happening. And yes, you might have to give up some profits, but it's much better to bank some profit than
Yeah.
none.
I mean, you have to be comfortable with staying in trades as well for
Yeah.
days, possibly weeks, and sometimes,
Yeah.
and staying in trades over the weekend and all that sort of thing. And a lot of people don't like doing that, which I understand. But I'm
But I
quite
think,
about doing
but I
that.
think it's more to the point though, Darren, that you were saying the other day, is that a trend normally, well, can continue for a period of time
Mm.
until it changes direction. And we're just trying to take advantage of that in as many pairs as we can. And if you've got a situation where it's going in and out of trades, you know, over a week or a number of weeks, well, there only tend to be small losses on them because what we're looking for are trades in that sort of longer term run. Um,
And just to clarify, like see the when you get a long or a short, would you only take them off if they're on the right side of the trend line? As in a short would be on when the trend line's red. Like see the way that big long just to the left of your mouse.
yeah.
So that would be a good one because it's just above the trend line. But if it was below, would you still enter? If that makes sense.
Um, I
Like if
I don't think Darren would. Well, Darren can speak for himself, but I wouldn't. Like the long there,
yeah.
no, no,
So if it
because yeah.
only if it's above would you take the long, and if it's below, you
Well,
would take the short.
well, if it's above, it would be green anyway.
Yeah,
It needs to
So
cross that trend line
to
to
get
change colour
momentum,
anyway. So that yeah. So to answer your
yeah.
question, yes, you're right.
right.
It would stay red until it crosses anyway.
Yeah, but you see, you've got the other situation too, Ross. You've got a short there and it pulls down and back up. You probably would have moved your stop loss because part of this strategy is that you are well, virtually you could be
Yeah,
constantly moving your stop loss down as a trailing stop or a trailing stop profit
yep,
once it gets into profit. But you see, this situation here is in the short there, you'd be in the short because it's on the below side and it's red on the trend bar. So you're in the trade, it pulled back a bit, that's okay. And slowly you move your stop loss. But as it pulled back here, you probably be stop
yeah,
profited out. And then it pushes back up to the trend and then it drops back off again. Um, Whether you would get back into this trade because it's below that, so this is what we've been sort of talking about. Darren would probably wait until he's got the short. But for me, because it's below the trend line here, and it's still red, it hasn't turned green at all, I would be back into that trade. So there's sort of different, I don't know, Darren, what you wouldn't get in until you got a short, would you?
Uh, no, I wouldn't. So I'm a bit
See
more
that?
cautious in that regard.
Yeah. But you
But
see
that short came quite late there, didn't it? That's
yeah. And it's
does look
quite,
quite odd. That does.
and
Yeah,
it's a fair distance from the channel, from
yeah,
the trend bar. And basically, it just goes down. You would have got in, and then it basically comes around and just bounces back up again. You would
yeah,
have been in profit, but if you put your stop loss at the top there or there,
yeah.
you really that would be a losing trade
It was. Yeah.
to get in. Where if you got in once it came down and gave you this doji or even that candle, you would actually have some profit because it'd be a stop profit situation. That's how I look at it anyway.
But it does. It is quite messy looking your own JPY though. I must say, it's
Yeah.
they're probably better examples. I think.
Yeah, but you got to
But,
deal with mess. You got to deal with
oh yeah, you
messy
have.
though.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
See, here it's red and you get a short. The issue that arises here is that would have come into some profit, then pulled back and then stopped you out. And if you got in on the
Well,
if you got in on the short, it would do the same thing again.
that was the tariffs announcement, wasn't it? Because
Yeah, well,
that was
yeah,
a massive gap in the market there. So the price opened at the bottom of that candle.
yeah.
So that's a bit of a
I'm just,
free
but
candle.
the point is, if you mechanically follow that trade, this
Yeah.
would have been a losing trade.
Yeah.
and then it's pushed back up, and then it's back down to the line. So now we're looking for a long, for example, of whether it'll bounce off here and come back up, or whether it'll break down and do this same sort of like couple of red ones and then back up. So there is a challenge with this strategy. Is like, well, mechanically that would have been a bit of a losing trade, where this would have been a winning trade and it would have come back to here probably, or even there maybe, or there, and taken you out. So it just, yeah, and and some pairs are more conducive than others. It's like, and here, for example, see how it's come off the trend bar and then it's bouncing back up again. So
Well, those
yeah,
are a couple of good examples of successful buy trades there, aren't there? Those.
yeah. There's
I mean,
a buy up
that's
there, pulled
that's
back,
perfect, that one.
long, off again, back down. And really, from my point of view, and I know that it's not yours, Darren, but I have a green trend bar and I have a nice green candle now off it. And that's a potential trade.
So
You would
see
be potentially waiting for a long.
see that long there.
That one? Yeah.
Would you be placing your stop loss below the line or below the candle?
Well, you'd put it below the candle before.
Right.
Or even Darren would be more conservative. He would
Yeah,
put it at the swing low.
I would. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you get in on this candle, you probably would get in at the start of it, somewhere
Yep.
there, maybe. And where your stop loss would be, like for me, maybe at one candle back. But for Darren, he would probably go like, oh, I need to put it down at this swing low, which is a good idea because often once you get into trades, there'll be pullbacks before it does actually continue. Hey, Paul, or good evening, Paul. Right. So that's the sort of you learn your lesson. If you put it below where you actually got in, it will come back and bite you in the bum and then take off again significantly. or potentially it could. So I think starting out, it's better, as Darren does. It just means you have a larger stop loss and less sort of profit in the push. But it's all relative until you learn, because how many times you're going to be stopped out in a trade before you realize it needs to be a bit further. At the bottom of that one, you might get knocked out here by spread even. So does that explain it, Ross?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
But look, here you get in on that long, or it turns green. For example, for me, that turns green. I'm in the trade, and then straight away, Darren will go like, "Oh, I've got a long. I'm into that trade." Like there's not a lot of distance between those, and then up she goes.
Yeah.
And then you're traveling your stop loss Darren have his stop loss down here, mine would be there, and then as it goes up, every second candle you put, you move it from there to there to there to there to there to there to there, and then it pulls back a bit, then it goes back up again. So you put it to there, right? And then as it pulls, and then you're basically going to keep it there because the next candle comes down and down and down, and it actually stop profits you. And then you're back here, then you get green line, another green candle, you might get in, or you get another green line, green candle, you have to make the decision on what will trigger you to get back in the trade because to leave your stop loss down here and hope that it's only going to come back to this level and take off again, it's a bit, in my opinion, it's a bit crazy because this could easily just come back past where you are and stop you out because that's the low to break.
Well, I used to wait for a pullback, so under previous rules, I wouldn't have trailed my stop loss that. I would have waited for that pullback, which happened. Then I'd have moved my stop loss up to there, and then hopefully continue on the way up. But as you say, there are a number of times when
It
it
just
just
it
came
just
all the way
comes,
down and took me out.
and then you're waiting 2 weeks just to be stopped out, like
Yeah.
a bit of a waste, rather than taking some sort of a stop profit and then waiting to get another opportunity to get back in.
Well, that was working okay for me until Trump announced his tariffs.
Well, no, until Trump got back in, you mean?
Well, yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's January, really.
Sort of the thing about it is, I think, Ross, as well, you need to follow a strategy mechanically, and you need to be able to take profits as you can out of the market, because it will always come back. I mean, it just does that. I mean, it's the nature of the market. So
Yeah.
You need to have some way. And then and that's why, again, daily is easy. I mean, as Darren was just saying before, there's stop losses to move
Yeah.
because it has moved further in the direction of the trend and the trade. So you're increasing your potential every day, potentially increasing your stop profit, because you're using the stop loss once it's into profit as your profit regulator in a trade, rather than saying, oh, well, there's the target and it comes up just 2 pips before it and then drops off. Like, well, you know,
Yep.
you can do that if you wanted to as well. You can go, well, this is where I think the high is going to be. I'm going to get out of the trade, or I'm going to place a profit, a TP there, and it will take it out. But, there's plenty of times Darren has been sitting there going, oh, I've got my profit. And then, Tom and I are going, oh, yeah, well, we think it might continue. It's like, 50 pips, another 100 pips, another 200 pips, and Darren's going like, oh, yeah, I was in that. He doesn't do it like that. He was very, very supportive of us, I must admit. He did say, you lucky bastards, from time to time. So, but yeah, look, but then there's other times where Darren would go like, I've got a profit, for example, and we'd still be in, and it comes back to exactly the same spot as where Darren had got his profit too. So
Yeah.
it's all relative. Like, how do you want to do this? You have to be the one that makes the decision. You're the one that clicks the mouse or the screen or whatever it is to put yourself in the trade or out of the trade. That's where it all finishes in the end. So all we're doing, I suppose, what Darren and Tom and I are doing is we're just sharing the way we've been doing things. And then, it's been a situation, as Darren was saying, when Trump came into the US, it just sort of shook the whole thing up. And the
Yeah.
strategy that we were following before wasn't that, Tom different. I mean, he was on bricks, and he's like, he was 30% up in his account. It just depends on what you want to follow or do. This is pretty simple. All right, you're at Singapore. Hey, can I ask more questions? I'm just moving on the
Yeah.
pairs. That's
Sure.
all, Ross. And you're very welcome to ask questions to clarify.
Yep.
So this is where, for example, it's pulled back here, and we get this nice. We're back close to. Nearly touching the thing. We get a nice push back up. That's probably where I'd be potentially getting back into the trade. For Darren, he's got a long, he's probably back in. Then it does a little pullback, and then off it goes. And pulls back again. So it depends on where you've placed your stop loss. So for example, you're there, then you get another candle. You wouldn't move it up to there because you've got a doji. And then you've got this push back down. So the wick goes lower than the previous candle. Oh, well, I won't move my stop loss. All right. So you're basically at entry, but then it pushes up there. So you might move your stop loss to there, and it comes down and takes you out. It just depends on how you want to play this game. That's all. And what you'll find, you might be in and out over a week or 2 weeks, in and out of a trade, and make a little bit of profit or not. I mean, it's just all relative to it. Euro USD, again, it's like in on that long, beautiful, it comes back down again, probably maybe stop you out. It just depends. I mean, Darren may not. So then you get another long, it pulls back and then off it goes again.
Yeah, well, I'm in this for the buy. It's
Yeah,
going pretty nicely at the moment.
yeah, absolutely. Very nice. Because the US dollar sucks at the moment. And everything against it is moving up. Seems to be, which is the GU's nice. Anyway, GA. Again, see how it pushed up. So we had a long, another long, and it pushed up nicely. Then it got a short push back down. That would probably stop you out or whatever. And then now it's just going sideways, just keep touching the rail. And at some point, we'll potentially get a buy back up. And a long, maybe, because you got a short, and a short will always be followed by a long before you get another short. And the thing is, since 24th of February, this has really been primarily buying. Like price has gone up, pull back a bit, up, pull back a bit, So at what point is this going to turn and give us then the sell trend? Because it's in a buy trend at the moment. And this green line hasn't changed. The price has gone a long distance from it and then back to it. Potentially it'll break it, but you do have a short on. So if the trend bar goes red, mechanically it's about getting into a sell trade. If it stays green and you get a long, then well, mechanically you get into a buy. Pretty straightforward. GCAD, you got into that, didn't you, for a buy, Darren?
Yeah. Well, I was in the sell, then I've switched from sell straight into buy,
Yeah, to buy, yeah.
um,
And now it's just pulling back that little bit.
yeah.
That's okay. But we've still got a green trend bar. It hasn't changed to red at all.
What made
Well,
you get into a buy on that one?
because he had a long down here, he had a green trend bar and a green candle.
Ah,
Yeah,
Is that
I got
it,
in on
Darren?
the. Yes, I didn't get in on the long. I waited for the trend bar to
Yeah,
turn green, and then I got
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
so you don't actually need to get in on the long candle all the time. It's just once they both change.
The
Yeah, well,
problem,
I wasn't there because it was trend bar was still red, so that was the.
and the price was below the trend bar. Price had to come up to or above the trend bar to get into the trade. For Darren anyway, and for me as well.
Yeah.
Because it could have quite easily, Ross, done this. It could have gone long and then it could have come up, touched that trend bar, right? Not turned, it stayed red. Because the reason why it turned green is because price went over that
Yep.
line. And so this could have just come up, touched it, and then just got a short. Because you had a long, you could have got a short straight away and then it just gone bing, 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 and dropped down.
Yep.
I mean, it could quite easily now too. This candle, the next candle, could actually push down, give us a short, and then off it goes. But it will be a red, it'll go then red on the trend bar, and you've got a short, and then you get into the sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We don't know that anything of what's going to happen. All we're doing is we're forecasting or we're looking at, well, what have we got here and what is the potential for it to continue up or down? That's all. It's already been down below. It normally likes to have a bit of time above and then a bit of time below. But it just depends. This is like, see how it's pushed up and it's such a fair distance away from the trend bar there. That's momentum. And now it sort of just comes back to be able to you see it back down here, it's come back down to try and even all this out. There'll be like fair value gaps and stuff down here. It's just come back, touched it, and then thought, oh, I'll go off again. So maybe that's just a pullback because it hasn't broken that candle here, the wick on that candle. See that wick there?
Yep.
Where it turned red? It hasn't broken that. So potentially it may not go higher. It may just then go a short and sell. I don't know. We're just looking at how it looks, that's all.
I actually used to use a really good indicator for fair value gaps.
Yeah, we've used plenty of them, Ross, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's like but yeah, you can have fair value gaps and yes it might, but there could be one down here and it won't come to it and like what decision are you making? I think one of the things that Darren particularly and me is we like to look at where it is, not where it has been to a certain extent. We're taking trades based upon where price is and what we can see right at this point in time. I mean, I used to rely on a lot on news as well and look at news. Don't even so I'm not really that concerned about it as such.
Yeah.
Just know that it will move the market around, but we've got no idea to what extent.
Yeah.
So, all right, GCAD. I hope, Darren, that this pushes up further. That's all. GBP CHF. CHF has been pretty strong, but it's sort of like just pull back the British pound. Now we've got this engulfing, but then this sort of like not really that committed type candle. I don't know what you're in there, but look at this. You get a long and a short, and then a long, and we're looking for another short on it. Sorry?
Yeah, I'm in the sell on this.
Yeah. From up there or only there?
From that short.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
candle, yeah.
Yeah, if you had got in from that one, well, that's a different situation. But we can't go back and take trades where we like to. It'd be great if we could, but you have to commit to a certain point. Okay, GJ as well. We're waiting for this to maybe come back up to trend bar and give us whatever. It is pushing further down, so I don't know. It's not the situation for a trade. You're right, the JPYs, Darren, are a bit sketchy at the moment. All right, GN. So did you get into that? You did, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
and now it has served you nicely by pushing down a bit.
Yeah.
The point, mate, that I'd like to make is that really we need to break this wick down here. Then we know for pretty sure it's going to be continuing down. If it doesn't break that wick, then we're going back up again. And it's just a candle by candle experience, really. Yeah. So is this now, you have the short there and then a candle that crossed, but it didn't turn the trend bar because it sucked back up. Price has to finish below the trend bar for it to turn red. Does that make sense? See how it sort of changed mid-candle? You wouldn't have known until this candle here. And at some point, anywhere there, you could take a trade. And Darren's now in positive. And the reason why is because there was a short there. So anything after the short and it turns red, he's going to get into the sell. Correct, Darren?
Yeah.
That's it. And yes, he's only up a bit on it, but that's a nice sort of move so far.
Would there be a cutoff and like, would you only do it if there's like a certain amount of candles after the short? Or could it be, for example,
not at
5
the moment.
candles?
No, not at the moment. I mean, it's a good point. But at the moment, no, I'm getting in them at the moment. So
yeah, I think to a certain extent, Ross, the more you think about it, the less you're going to use more sort of psychological emotion to get in or out of trades. Where what Darren and I and Tom have sort of really realized over time, you just need to trade mechanically.
Yep.
As soon as you start to bring too much of that sort of like brain going around stuff. It just it mucks with you.
Yep.
And then there's so many times you go like, oh no, I think I might not take the trade, and off she goes.
Yeah.
And other times you think, well, oh yeah, I'll take that. Like you need to increase your percentages by being consistent in what the rules are, and you just follow it. If you follow the rules and the strategy never works for you, well, it's not a great strategy. But what we're sort of proving at the moment is this tends to be, um, there's that danger period in those first period of time. Once you take a trade of where your stop loss, it's a loss,
Yep.
stop loss, until it moves in the trend direction that you can move your stop loss to a stop profit situation. That's the only danger time.
Yeah. And
Once you're in a
after that, it's
stop
pure profit.
profit, who cares?
Yeah.
It's not, you cannot lose. It's a no lose situation. It's just that first bit. And then if you follow mechanically, then, sure, you're not going to win every trade. That's another thing we just keep saying, well, that I keep saying anyway. You're not going to win every trade. But the strategy is about giving you a better chance too. And we'll just see, is this now, because there's been a relatively long-term push up, is this now, and I think you've got these crazy wicks and a high, quite a high from the line. Tends to be some of the markers that tell me that this is now going to start to sell out. Tends to, yeah.
Yep.
Just the further away from it gets, the more it wants to come back and sort of console itself a bit before it can go back further. All right, GBP and Singapore. All right, long pushed up. You're in this for the buy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this time of the week. Normally this sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, the direction tends to change a bit, or the pullback happens before it either continues or it'll just drop back down. All right. So you'd still be in a little bit, well, sorry, Darren would still be in a little bit of profit, because what would happen is he would go, whoops, he would go, I see the long, I'll wait till the end. The candle finishes there. He's in the trade. He's got his stop loss wherever he puts it. I don't know, here, there, where it might be down there. And then what happens is the candle came up there for the next day. He was in like 0.6. Now it's sucked back down again. He's got really no profit, but his stop loss is still here. But when that pushed up, see, the candle hasn't gone below. I'd be moving my stop loss at least up to there.
Yeah, that's what I've done, Brian. I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, to minimize, only purely because this wick has not come below that one. Now, if you get another buy candle, right, then, sorry, if you get another buy candle, I would be, sorry, if you get another buy candle and the wick is above this, then what I do is I move my stop loss up to this point. So I'm still at a loss, but like it's so minuscule, it's not a big deal. And then if you get another candle push up, well, bang, you're going to move your stop loss into a stop profit situation. That's sort of how it works.
Yep.
And if this comes back, well, that's just the danger time in this strategy. That's all. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay, good. GU. I got into this back down here. Oh no, actually, what did I do? I got out of, well, I was in the buy, it came back, I got out of the I got out of it because it went down. Before this strategy, before we sort of following this. And then I flipped it, because when it went back here green, I flipped it back, and I'm now up 244 pips.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll potentially move my stop loss right up now to
Yeah, well, your stop loss could go up to here.
correct. Yeah.
Once this candle completes, there'll be a new candle, right? Which is probably in about another hour. You'll start a new candle because New York finishes and Sydney will start. So it depends. You either put it here or put it up there. The decision will need to be yours if you're in that trade. But the point is, you probably Darren's he would have been in the trade at the top of this candle because he waits for the candle to complete. It's gone green, green candle. The trading day is nearly completed. The long is basically set. So here we go. We're in the trade relatively there. Stop loss maybe down there. And where he is up here at the moment. So he's up 1%, right? But the point is now you would move your stop loss where it was there. He could, once he's got that up there, that candle completes, he'd have his stop loss up there. So he's basically at break even. Now it's pushed up there. Now he's in safe territory. It doesn't matter what happens at this point. He's now in a stop profit situation. Yeah. If this next candle starts and it pushes a bit, well, he might just move that stop loss up to there. He's a much better sort of stop profit situation. If I bring it down there, he's still got not quite 1%, but who's going to argue about getting just not quite 1% if it comes back and knocks him out? Because it's going to stop profiting, not stop lossing. Yeah?
Yep.
So that's this scenario. I'll just show you the scenarios of what's happening. So it's about mechanically entering and then moving your stop loss as things, and you see where the wicks are and whether it's below or above and all that, which shows you trend direction still at that next candle. Right, NZD-CAD. Right, with the long there, changed color, would be in probably around about here. It's pushed up. You wouldn't move your stop loss because this candle's pulled back down. Stop loss would still be here or wherever it is.
Yep.
Right. Now this could quite easily come back and stop loss you. So this is the danger period. Yeah. In any trade, it's the first whatever. All right. And you don't know. NZD-CAD. Same. You're on the short. If you got in on that short, then it's got along and pushed back up again. But if your stop loss was above that or above there, then you're still in the trade. It just depends on whether it comes back to this line and then drops over. It's been in a sell for a while since, what's that? Yeah, 25th, 24th, 25th of Feb. Same thing. Trend direction had changed on lots of pairs around that date. Yeah. So it depends. If you got in on that short, it pulled back up a bit, and then now it dropped off. It's come back. So if you had trouble with your stop loss down, your stop loss, it would have been a stop profit when it poked back up here. Okay. NZD-JPY. It's pretty simple, all this. You come up, you get a green, but you wouldn't have. Oh, you might have got into that, Darren. Oh gosh.
I didn't because I could see that it hadn't really crossed the
Aha.
trend
The
bar.
body of the candle wasn't on the other side.
And then when the
It
next
did push
candle
up, but then sucked back. So you waited.
when the next candle opened, it was immediately red. So I just
you went,
phew! Yeah.
Save that one.
Yeah.
So there's mechanical rules because you got a long, you change to green, you got a green candle, price has to be, for Darren, has to be finished above the actual line for it to be a potential trade. But this has been a long term. Look at this long term push down, way, way, way back up here. Like this was back 10th of July last year. It pushed down, pushed back up to here, and then it just dropped off. And it's been just going down, down, down. And this is what we're talking about, Ross and Paul. It's just following the trend. Sure, there's pullbacks, but we just want to keep keep profiting from the way the market wants to push it. So potentially this now, if Darren gets a short, he'll be in that trade as a sell. Correct?
Yeah.
Good. And you? Whoa, yeah, all the U's. USDs.
She's going nice then in this one.
Yeah, nice profit too. So would have been here into the trade somewhere in this candle. And now you would move your stop loss into a stop profit situation up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Singapore Japanese yen. If you had got in that short, but I don't think you did. You got along there, but no change. We haven't sort of had a trade in that with this new strategy. Well, not new, this developed strategy. Nothing's new. USD CAD. Oh, you got in that short, didn't you?
Yeah, still in
Yeah.
that.
Lovely. And so the issue here, see if you let me. So if, for example, you had your stop loss up here somewhere or wherever it is, it's a bit crooked, and then you would have moved it when that candle had
Yeah,
finished. You'd move it to there.
that's where my stop loss is at the minute. So I'm now
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
to.
yeah. And because this went down lower and pushed back up, like you wouldn't have moved it. Now, for me, because this candle didn't, we've gone down into the sell now. It depends when the next candle happens. But for me, I would move the stop loss
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
to above that week. Because if it comes back, you're going to stop profit, right? But the point is, because you're in a stop profit situation, if it moves down further and we get a wick below that, then you're going to move it to that one. That makes sense? It's just so daily you're looking for an opportunity for a trade, and daily you're looking at moving stop losses that you to stop profits when you're in trades. They're the two tasks. Is that right, Darren? Basically,
yeah, that's
yeah.
what
The two tasks are, moving a stop loss into a stop profit situation and looking for opportunities to trade.
So see on this trade where the short is, that big candle.
Yeah,
So you would have got in at the bottom of that and then placed
probably.
the stop loss above the two green candles to the left. Is that right?
It
I wouldn't
depends.
on that one. I'd have.
Probably just here
Well, I'd look
or
at
there.
where you got the long, the push up, and then the short, so it's above
Yeah.
the sort of swing point there, which is the
Which is
wick on
just,
that long, I think.
yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The wick on the
Right.
long,
Okay.
Yeah.
just there.
Yep.
And then as it moved down, it's down here somewhere. You're going to move it down to here. So small amount of loss. And then once it drops back down again, well, you're moving it into a stop profit situation. Like I said. So it might be just grabbing pieces here and there. All right, USD CHF. Again, look at that. Oof. Look how red that is all the way. And then that drop. That US dollar's in trouble at the moment. But anyway, we'll see. There is no short here. You would have been in there and you still be in the trade. I mean, that, for example, from that short there down to where it is now, it's 871 pips over about 2 months. And you wouldn't need to, you'd be traveling your stop profit down, maybe you'd only be there or maybe there. Just depends on how tight or less conservative you want to be. Yeah. Right. USD JPY. Same thing. You got in on that short?
Did yeah.
Yeah, it's pulled back up again from there. You'd be
Yeah.
moving your stop loss down to here. You'd be in stop profit. Bang, bang, bang. Again, another example. USD Singapore.
Yeah, and again.
Short there. Sorry?
I'm in this as well, so this is going quite well.
Yeah, and pushing down further. Very nice. Ready to move you. You'd probably be in, maybe it depends on whether you're in stop profit yet or not. But same situation. And gold, look at that. Three.
Yeah, I'm in the buy on this.
Yeah,
Just racing up. It really is.
it's great, isn't it? There'll be all these people out there, Jared. It's got to come down. It's got to come down. It can't. This is what you say. You're just riding the horse, and you're just riding it
I mean,
up.
that's like a perfect entry, that isn't it? As well,
Oh,
off the trend bar
perfect,
line there.
perfect entry. And then up it pushes and up it pushes. A little bit of pullback. You got your stop loss sitting in there. Once it pushes up a bit further, it's there. And now this is pushed up. You'd move your stop loss to
Yeah,
there or there.
that's what I'm gonna do.
And
Yeah,
you're in stop profit. I mean, you're in a profitable situation. You're out of the danger zone and you're now into, yay, give me the money. Whatever happens, it pulls back. You're never going to lose. Yeah. All right. And silver is doing its thing too.
well, ready to get into
Yeah. Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah. Correct. What's the DXY? Yeah, still going down. Bitcoin's 84, mulling around. And oil. Oh, it's going sideways.
Yeah.
62. So that's all of the pairs and sort of explaining a little bit of what's happening there. That would have been a relatively good trade too on that short, getting the trade there. It pushed down, and then come back up. You'd have that much stop profit there in there.
You'd still be in that, I think. The
You
follow to
reckon?
kangaroo. I think so. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
I would have moved it to there. Oh, you probably would
Yeah.
still be in.
Yes,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
still
yeah.
be in it, wouldn't you? You'd
You'd
survive.
still be in, but you'd be in a stop profit situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Again, that's a perfect entry right on the trend bar
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
exactly. Yeah, we need to look at these, don't we, Darren? And if you got a long, if you get another short here, you're a distance away from that. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
take,
It's not as good
do
an
you
entry.
stack a trade? Maybe
Yeah.
not. It just depends. Yeah. Anyway, more questions? More answers? I love this. Look at this. Turn red. Let's get it short.
Yeah.
All right. How's that, Ross? How you feeling?
Yeah, it's spot on.
Okay.
Just eager to jump into one now, but I know I should wait.
Well, it's up to you. But remember, it's the danger period is just while it makes the move. That's
Yeah.
all. So, and Paul, how are you feeling about
Yeah,
this
fine.
or not? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in
good.
a few trades.
Yeah, okay. Lovely.
Pound, New Zealand dollar. From
Oh
the
yeah.
beginning of the week, I've taken partial profits, and I'm in.
Whoa. Oh,
I've,
you're a partial profit boy. Okay.
yeah, this is only a demo account, Brian, and I'm just,
GN, did you say?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Singapore, Japanese yen. I'm in profits on that. US dollar, Swiss franc. I'm in profits on that. Euro and the pound. I'm in drawdown. They're all sells, by the way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
And while we've been
Yeah.
while we've been talking, I've gone into US dollar and the Canadian dollar.
Okay.
Sell. So
Mm, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
but the pound and the New Zealand dollar. I mean, this is a £50,000. It's a demo account.
Yeah.
It was up about £900 on Monday, so that's nearly enough
Mm,
one.
mm. You got into the trade. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that was Friday. You got into it Monday there.
yeah.
It went down, pushed down, pulled up, and then pushed back down again. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, quite pleased. Yeah, good.
So you're understanding that the moving the stop loss for stop profit, that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And yeah, okay, cool.
yeah.
Lovely. All right, no worries. All right then, gentlemen. hopefully the Zoom thing works for Tom tomorrow.
It didn't work for me, Brian, earlier on. That's why I
Yeah, I
only
know.
joined late.
So where are you, Paul? Where are you getting your link from? Is it out of the chat or is it out of the
Discord.
from Discord? Now,
Yeah.
Paul, I don't know if you're okay. Hang on a minute. Let me just. Are you in the chat, Paul?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The SFF and Relax Strategy chat.
On
Obviously not.
Messenger.
Messenger. You don't get a messenger from us?
No.
Okay. Let me see if I can. I'll add you to that. I'll see. Add people. Now I'll have to find your surname, and if you should be a friend. So Paul, what's your surname, Paul?
Same as that other fella sat next to you, Darren.
Sorry,
JRT.
sorry, Paul.
Same as my surname by
Oh, it is it?
coincidence. Yeah.
Oh, Paul
Except it's not
Hart.
a coincidence. I think there's a reason for that.
Okay, no
I
worries.
guess.
I think that should be you, Paul. Now in Messenger, you should be added to a chat group
Have a look.
if that's you.
Yeah. Come through,
Okay.
Brian.
Yeah. So I also posted in there. So the issue, I'm gonna have to work out some way of doing it for Tom. Maybe if I put it, no, he's got there. Maybe I can, yeah, I'll work it out anyway. Okay. Maybe I just put it into Tom's chat rather than we using Discord. I don't know. Maybe we don't have to use Discord. It's just an extra thing. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So it just means that for Ross, I've put him into our chat, and you're in the chat as well. So and Tom and Darren is. I don't know if I put the link into. Hang on, let me just see. Where is? Oh, oh, what is going on? Oh, menus. I've got Tom there. And if I, what have I got? There. Sorry, gentlemen, I'm just, if I, rather than Discord, if I copy that, we'll see. Back up in there. Yeah, we'll see if Tom, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Tom mightn't be there now. He might have gone as well. Alrighty, no worries. Oh. Anyway. Okay.
Not to
What we
worry.
we'll just see how he goes. I'm just messaged him
Yeah.
anyway. We'll see what happens and then we'll go from there. Anyway, things are okay. We've got well, you probably have a public holiday on your Friday.
Yeah, Friday and Monday.
Yeah, so tomorrow's Thursday night for you. So hopefully I'll be on. Well, I will be. I plan on being on anyway. We'll see how we go. I don't know about. I'm not sure about Monday because my Monday. Your Sunday night is a public holiday. So we'll just see.
Yeah,
We
so,
might just wait until the next day, and I might just be able to have a sleep in for a day or something because
Yeah.
the markets will be closed.
I think it's not a public holiday in the US, is it? So the markets will still be open, I think, but it'll be much slower, won't it?
Yeah.
It'll only
Yeah.
be the US open, I think.
Okay.
I
So
think
US only has a bank holiday Friday, not the Monday.
I don't think they have one Friday as well, do they?
Okay.
Or am I wrong? I
Oh,
don't know.
no, it's all right.
I looked this up earlier, so
Oh well.
we,
I
we've
don't think
obviously got
it'll
Friday and Monday. You've got
I
Friday.
don't think it'll change things dramatically. So
No.
all right then. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being here, and we'll see how we go tomorrow. And yeah, Paul, keep taking partial profits then if you want. It's just the size of
Yeah.
the account that allows you to do it. So
It doesn't really matter when it's a demo, it's just practice,
yeah,
isn't it? Just
yeah,
getting
yeah,
used to it.
absolutely it is. And that's
Oh,
advisable
yeah.
to do that with any strategy you're following to do that. All right then, till tomorrow.
Very
Take
good.
it easy.
Thanks, Brian.
All
Yeah, see
right.
you soon.
Sleep well.